Hi, McKenna. Thank you for just trusting me to be a part of this process with you and for coming in to talk. That's very hard, I understand. To get things started, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Claudia. I'm doing this as for my social work methods class, so I'm just a student. I want to go over this with you. It's just basically saying that by signing this consent form, you're giving me the ability to learn from you and to learn from this interview, that I'll be able to practice skills in this class. I'm not a professional by any means in this, so if you begin to talk about something that you feel uncomfortable with or I feel uncomfortable with, feel free to stop talking. If I'm approached with anything that I don't feel like I'm educated to talk about, I will go and seek as much help as I can from other places, including my professor, or I have the information for the counseling center if you want that from me. Also, if I feel as though you're a danger to yourself or to others, or if there's a suspicion for abuse of any vulnerable group, including children, elderly, or disabled, I will get involved with I'll be obligated to report this to any necessary authorities, which may include my professor or campus security or anybody of that nature that could help. It also says that as my pseudo client, you're agreeing to be videotaped and that people will be viewing this to help me learn, to help learn how to better myself to do this in the future, including my classmates, my peers, and also my professor, and they'll be grading me and just helping me to better learn from this experience. So, starting off, McKenna, just tell me a little bit about yourself. What's going on? What brought you here today?
So one of the things that I feel like I've really been struggling with lately is definitely like self-confidence and like body image issues, I guess, because growing up, like I danced for 9 years, so like basically I found my worth in that. And so like since I quit dancing freshman year of college, it's kind of just been a roller coaster of a journey, like sophomore year to junior year, and like fluctuating in weight, I guess. So senior year, this has kind of been like the longest my weight's ever remained the same. So I guess now it's trying to stay motivated in that, and then just not beating myself up about it when like I go off the tracks with my diet or something like that, you know? So
right. That's very understandable, yeah. I could see how growing up with such a strict dance upbringing could help you, allow you to feel a little insecure and just differences like that. So yeah, tell me more about that, about how you feel. Do you feel better now that you have been a little bit more steady, or insecure, or what's going on with that now?
So I think it's definitely been better now that I've like kind of regulated, because I have started to focus a lot more on my nutrition, so the nutritional aspect of things, because like with dance I would get stressed and I'd emotionally eat. So like in high school I could eat like a whole box of Oreos by myself, and like that's just not good for any one person. So yeah, so like basically I've worked through not emotionally eating and coping with that. So focusing more on my nutrition, and then also like working out and finding what I enjoy doing. So that's definitely gotten better for sure, but I still like, I don't know, I think body image is something that like I feel like I'm going to struggle with just because of the nature of doing something for 9 years. And then also like that was kind of like in the critical stages for me of like I started dancing when I was 11, and girls' bodies change when they're like 15, and so not understanding what was going on and then like resenting all of that. So I think it's just like a consistent day-to-day thing, but it's definitely gotten better for sure this year.
Yeah, no, it sounds like throughout the process of just ending your dance career and then becoming a college student and becoming obviously clearly very busy, it sounds like you've gone through a lot of changes, and that, as you said, like you were dancing when you were young and your body changes a lot, and so you weren't able to process this maybe like someone who didn't dance would. But it also sounds like you found a lot of strengths in realizing your body and what you can do to change, not to change, but to help better yourself and to make yourself more comfortable in your skin. And so this is really good, and I think that's something we can definitely build on, just to be able to see these little strengths and little progresses. So tell me more about like maybe what you're doing now to change how you feel about yourself.
I think I know that I am absolutely my worst enemy, like hands down. I'm like the hardest on myself. So I think honestly, like my biggest struggle and like something that I definitely would want help on would be learning how to like self-talk and like change in that area, because I think that's where I get myself the most. Is it's not like I've kind of over the past like 4 years, just with being an exercise science major and everything, developed good habits and I have the knowledge. So I think like my diet, I feel like I've developed really good habits with that, and with working out, like developing good habits. But like I struggle with being like, is that enough? And also that fear of, like feeling like if I don't like stay strict for X amount of days, then I'm gonna fall off and I'm gonna gain weight. So I guess like, the good things that I've worked on is establishing good habits to fall back onto, and to kind of like, it gets quicker. I come back quicker and quicker. Like every time I kind of like go off track, I'm like, okay, come on. Like, you know that this is what helps you like focus on this kind of thing. But I think like the self-talk is the things that like I still struggle with the most, of like realizing that I have changed and I'm not the same person that I was. So like letting myself move forward kind of thing.
Right. And that's really good to be able to realize and to be able to try to, the first step is to understand it, and so that then you can work on it. And you said you're an exercise science major. Do you think that maybe there's a like kind of a disconnect between learning things in the classroom and then applying them in real life, and that maybe being able to apply them to yourself first would help clients in the future?
I think that there's definitely a component where like, yes, you do get the information, but it is ultimately up to you to apply it to yourself. And I really want to be able to practice what I preach, so I'm not gonna harp on don't eat sugar, don't eat a lot of processed sugar if I'm like eating 6 cookies from the calf. So like, so I want to be able to be an example. But I do think too that there definitely was, for me, it was a really easy transfer from making sense of the body from dancing to being an exercise science major. But I also think I did take things into my own hands. Like when I came here, when I transferred here, I think I spent about 2 years in the weight room with Coach G, just observing how he does things and learning from him and learning from Coach Kez, but then also like listening to what other people are doing, what works for them, because something that I really realized was how individual, every person's health journey is so individualized. And so what works for them is not going to work for me. So obviously working out with Kez all summer was awesome and so much fun, but like realistically long term, like my body's just not built for that, So I think that there is a component where there may be a disconnect, but that also depends on you and like how you're going to do that yourself.
Okay, yeah. And obviously coming from a dance background where everything is very strict and regimented and everybody does the same things, it would be hard to kind of find who you are and how your body processes things and how your body needs different foods or exercise or something. So I think that, we're definitely getting somewhere, and I think that this is a good start for a few future sessions, and I think that we can maybe talk a little bit more about how to help you and how to make progress with your self-image and how you view yourself, and maybe how some goals you can create to help figure out how your body processes things.
Yeah, that'd be really good, because goal setting is something I'm not good at. So.
Right, and we can work on it. We can, each session we can try to make a goal and then see how we've reacted to it or whatnot. So it'll be good for us, I think. Thank you.
Okay.